the NHL, but I've traded every single team's best player. All right, we are going to be starting things off with none other than Troy Terry from the Anaheim Ducks, 86 overall, and he is going to get traded to the Philadelphia Flyers. So the Flyers get a good forward, a sniper, which they desperately needed. We move on now to none other than David Pastrnak from the Boston Bruins, 94 overall. Literally any team in the NHL could use a player like him, and he's going to head to the second newest team in the league in the Seattle Kraken. Buffalo's Rasmus Dahlin is on the chopping block right now, 91 overall, two-way defenseman, and he also will be joining Philly. So Philly gets two players out of this with only having to lose one pretty much, and potentially could even grab even more players from the wheel. Calgary's highest rated player is Rasmus Andersson at an 88 overall, and he was going to be traded to the Carolina Hurricanes. Chicago, obviously it's Connor Bedard at an 87 overall, although Seth Jones is the same exact overall. I'm gonna go with Bedard, and he is going to be headed to the Seattle Kraken. Next up is Nathan MacKinnon from the Colorado Avalanche, the reigning Hart Trophy winner at a 96 overall. And oh my god, he was so close to joining Sid and the Pens, but instead he's going to have to go to the Bay Area and join Macklin Celebrini and the San Jose Sharks. Next, we have potential Norris Trophy winner in Zach Werenski. I mean, the dude's having a hell of a season. He's an 89 overall, and he's going to be helping out the Detroit Red Wings, who are trying to get into the postseason. Very, very good pickup by the Wings. We have our first goaltender that will be traded, none other than Jake Ottinger from Dallas, 91 overall, tied alongside Miro Heiskanen, but why not throw a goalie in there? And it looks like it will be the Pittsburgh Penguins picking up an elite-level goaltender. The Detroit Red Wings are up next, and it's going to be Lucas Raymond or Dylan Larkin. You know what? I will leave their captain there. I will take Lucas Raymond, the younger guy, and he is all... Okay, it's going to Detroit. That doesn't even make any sense. We will have to spin the wheel again, see which team we will land on. What team will Lucas Raymond be joining? And it's none other than the Boston Bruins. It is a sad day for Oilers fans, as Connor McDavid will be joining a brand new franchise here in NHL 25, and he is headed to probably the coldest city in all of Canada, in Winnipeg, as the Jets just grabbed themselves the best player in the entire league. Best player in Florida history, and Alexander Barkov is on the trading block, and he is headed to a brand new team as he is going to Carolina to join the Hurricanes at a 95 overall. Longtime LA King Anze Kopitar will no longer be a part of the team at an 89 overall. He is going to be joining the Philadelphia Flyers. Unfortunately for Minnesota, they're going to be losing a 95 overall Kirill Kaprizov. Unless they get another player in this wheel, they are going to suffer because of it, as he's going to be joining the Anaheim Ducks. El Abu Estida Tabernac Nick Suzuki on the chopping block, as he will be joining... Oh my god, Philly is loading up in this video. They just get all the luck in the world, as they are going to grab another stud. Probably one of the best looking people in the entire NHL, in Roman Josi, 93 overall, joining a brand new team here in the league, and that new team is going to be none other than the Dallas Stars. Jack Hughes will be leaving the New Jersey Devils. He's a 94 in the newest roster update, no longer will be a part of the team, as, oh my god, please not Philly, please not Philly. Okay, thank god, we get the Ottawa Senators instead. The most boring team in the league in the New York Islanders, Ilya Sorokin, 90 overall, will no longer be a part of the team, as I'm going to be trading him to the New Jersey Devils. The New York Rangers are going to have to lose a 95 overall Artemi Panarin, as if this season could not get any worse, and he is going to be joining the best team in the league currently in real life, in the Washington Capitals. Also joining his fellow Russian in Alexander Ovechkin. The professional diver that is Tim Stützle will be joining a brand new team, hopefully having brand new ways and maybe a little more empathy. Not empathy, but he's going to join the Toronto Maple Leafs, the mecca of the hockey world. Finally, Philadelphia is going to get hurt from this wheel and not gain from it, as Travis Konechny is their best player at an 89, and he will be joining none other than the Dallas Stars. So finally, with all the additions that they added to the roster, they finally have a subtraction. To be honest, seeing Sidney Crosby in a new uniform is going to be weird. 94 overall, no longer will be a member of the Penguins, as he's going to be joining Connor McDavid on the Winnipeg Jets. The Sharks are going to have to lose Mikael Granlund, but they basically will just replace him with Nathan MacKinnon that they already got from the wheel. So Granlund at an 87 overall will be joining the St. Louis Blues, who won the Stanley Cup back in 2019. and been basically irrelevant ever since then. Vince Dunn is currently on his way out of Seattle at an 88 overall. A good two-way defenseman will be traded to none other than the Toronto Maple Leafs. So they added Tim Stützle, and now they actually got a defenseman, which will help out their roster tremendously. Bye-bye, Robert Thomas, 89 overall, two-way forward from St. Louis. Will now be joining the Vancouver Canucks of all team. Basically a loser team ever since time. Not a single Stanley Cup in their franchise history. Mr. Are You Kidding Me? Nikita Kucherov, 95 overall, one of the best players in the entire league at this point, will be joining the LA Kings. A very interesting choice. After losing Anze Kopitar, they replace him with a better player. Bye-bye, Tommy Hake Matthews, 95 overall, one of the highest in the entire game, as he will be leaving Toronto. Oh my god, you have to be kidding me. He's going to be joining the Philadelphia Flyers. The newest team in the NHL is the Utah Hockey Club. Clayton Keller is their captain and their best player at an 89, and he will be leaving Utah, headed to the Los Angeles Kings and joining Nikita Kucherov. Not even gonna lie, Quinn Hughes is probably happy to get out of Vancouver at this point after the season they've had. It's an absolute gong show out there right now, and he's gonna be headed to the New York Islanders. So just like Bo Horvat, the captain of Vancouver, headed off to the Islanders. Jack Eichel in real life is actually having a very underrated season, one of his best of his career. He's up to a 93 overall in the roster update, and he's also going to be joining Quinn Hughes to the New York Islanders. Alexander Ovechkin is having a hell of a season in real life, but unfortunately for the Capitals, he's probably not going to break Gretzky's record in that uniform, as he's going to the Utah Hockey Club, formerly known as the Arizona Coyotes, which conveniently enough, I believe, is where he broke his leg way back in December this year. And finally, the final team on the list is the Winnipeg Jets. Connor Hellebuck at a 94 overall will be joining the Carolina Hurricanes, who have loaded up throughout all these trades and now just basically got the best goalie in the entire league. I am not even gonna lie to you guys, this is probably the most scary team in the entire NHL right now after all the moves that I made. The Philadelphia Flyers got a massive upgrade. They got Austin Matthews, Nick Suzuki, Troy Terry, Anze Kopitar, all added to their top six, which now looks pretty filthy, alongside a 91 overall Rasmus Dahlin to steady out their decor, which wasn't very good to begin with, but now has one of the best defensemen in the entire league. Their goalies are still definitely hurting, but they're going to be a very good team to watch out for. And it's very simple. We are going to simulate and see who goes on and wins the Stanley Cup now that I've completely shaken up the entire league. If you guys do enjoy NHL content just like this, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. I upload basically every single day. Now, at the end of the season, surprisingly, the Florida Panthers will finish as the best team in the NHL. 51-25-6 record, 108 points, followed by Winnipeg, who has Crosby and McDavid now. The Edmonton Oilers didn't really miss McDavid that much. They won 50 games. Carolina was good. Philly, not surprising to see them there. I'm honestly a little surprised they didn't win more than 46 games. Only had 100 points on the season, and at the bottom, it was none other than the Chicago Blackhawks, who obviously lost their only piece in Connor Bedard. Individually, Leon Draisaitl will go off in McDavid's absence, 117 points in the season, followed by Kucherov's 108, Matthews had 107, and McDavid 104. And then we had guys like Kyle Connor, Kaprizov, Tkachuk, and Keller all chipping in on their new teams. For goals, Matthews is going to lead the way with 73. He was by far and away the league leader with 73. I mean, the next closest was 59. Kucherov on the LA Kings. Leon had 57 himself. Kyle Connor had a 50-goal season. Nathan McKinnon put up 47. We got Kaprizov with 40, as well as Pasternak and Ovi. Ovi didn't have the greatest of seasons on Utah. Couldn't really play with anybody, to be honest. Only had 39 goals, 76 points, and more importantly, a minus 16. For goaltenders, Pyotr Kochetkov, I obviously traded Connor Hellebuck for him because I was going to trade the starter in Freddie Anderson. So he is now playing on Winnipeg. I had the most wins in the league. He's only, like an 85 overall. He had 40 wins. Bob had 39. Kemper had 38. Igor, 37. And for the shutouts, Stuart Skinner will tie alongside Connor Hellebuck, both having 8 on the season, and Hellebuck only 35 wins in 57 games with Carolina. And here we go. This is our playoff bracket. I'm looking at Philly to make a very deep playoff run. Potentially the LA Kings. Winnipeg is going to be dangerous. And the Dallas Stars, I mean, they could be iffy at this point without their goaltender. We are going to go on, simulate, and see who ends up taking home the Stanley Cup. Philadelphia is going to war and back right now with the New York Rangers in a Game 7. They got a 1-goal lead entering the third period. A little bit of a gong show in Game 7. 5-4 here in Philadelphia. Shots are even. Score is pretty much even, but Rasmus Ristolainen will extend the lead for Philly 6-4. Another power play. Again, Philly can't capitalize, but they don't need to at this point. They just need to hold on and eliminate the New York Rangers in Game 7. We now move on to round number 2 with 4 more playoff matchups. Winnipeg, Dallas, Edmonton, San Jose, Florida, Buffalo, and then finally Philadelphia versus the New York Islanders. We got the first of 3 Game 7s here in round number 2. First up, Edmonton and San Jose. We get a 2-2 tie entering the third period. The Sharks outshooting them 26-18, and there it is. Will Smith will score and Stuart Skinner. I believe San Jose got Nathan MacKinnon, right? So they got a real game changer over there in the Bay Area, and it is showing. But Kasperi Kapanen will score and Yaroslav Askarov and tie the game up at 3. And then Evander Kane will take the lead. No McDavid, no problem. Tyler Toffoli tying the game up at 4. Here we go in overtime. Who is advancing to the conference finals? Will it be Edmonton? Will it be San Jose? Will it be nobody? We got no score after the first OT, and there it is. Ruta will score on Stuart Skinner, and he will punch the ticket for San Jose to go to the conference finals. This is Philadelphia's second Game 7 of their playoff run, and it looks to be an absolute blowout. They're leading 4-0 entering the third period, and end up defeating the Islanders 7-2 in Game 7. Literally no effort from New York. Like, none at all. How do you get blown out in a Game 7 scenario? I don't understand. And finally, to end round number 2, we get the Buffalo Sabres back in the postseason up against the Florida Panthers, the reigning, defending Stanley Cup champions, and they got a 3-2 lead entering the third period. Shots, never mind. Anton Lundell will tie that game up real quick on Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. And oh my God, Jack Quinn, there it is on Sergei Bobrovsky. 4-3 lead for Buffalo. No way they hang on and defeat Florida. I know they don't have Sasha Barkov on their squad, but goddamn, the Buffalo Sabres, they are off to the conference finals, something I thought I would never say. They are going to end up playing the super team that is the Philadelphia Flyers, and then we have McDavid and Crosby going for a Stanley Cup up against Nathan MacKinnon and the San Jose Sharks. Philadelphia's playoff run might be coming to an end. They're down 3-1 in the series here in Philly. They got a 3-1 lead entering the third period, trying to force a game number 6. And I mean, through and through, they top to bottom, they are a much better team than the Buffalo Sabres. I don't know why they're having a tough time. Maybe Buffalo is possessed by the hockey gods, but right now, Philly will win 4-1 and indeed force a Game 6. Buffalo here gets another opportunity to go on to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time since how long? I can't even remember the last time Buffalo was in the Cup Finals, if they ever were. Philly's got a 1-0 lead, though, thanks to Tommy Ake Matthews on the power play. They just need Samuel Ersson to shut the door here in the third and potentially force a Game 7 back in Philadelphia, which would be a crazy-ass game. Power play for Buffalo. They don't get anything on it. They will tie the game, though. Alexander Tuch on Samuel Ersson. 2 minutes to go. Troy Terry. Who else but the first man to be traded? And Philly has forced a Game 7. The duo of Crosby and McDavid are 1 win away from advancing to the Stanley Cup Finals. Winnipeg's got a 2-0 lead after 1, 3-0 after 2, and it looks like the Sharks are indeed dead. They are in dead water right now. The shots are even, but they're down by 3 entering the third period. They're going to need basically a Nathan MacKinnon hat trick as he has carried them all this way, but it will not be enough as McDavid and Crosby are in the Cup Final. All right, here we go. Game 7, conference final action. Buffalo takes a 1-0 lead on 9 shots. Sam Lafferty, of all people. Second period, Philly ties it up, Farabee, and we got ourselves a game, baby. A 1-1 tie entering the third. Winner goes to the finals. Loser goes home. Bowen Byram will take the lead for Buffalo. Power play for the save. They go up 3-1, JJ Peterka, and the Flyers are absolutely stunned. They get a power play, can do nothing on it. Literally jack shit. 4-1 lead for Buffalo. and the Sabres are off to play McDavid and Crosby and the Winnipeg Jets in the Stanley Cup Finals. Best of 7 for the Stanley Cup, winner take all. Let's see who goes home with Lord Stanley. I'm not gonna lie, I was really wishing the Flyers will get there. The storylines would have been impeccable, but I guess the Buffalo Sabres will do. 1-1 tie after 1, entering game number 3. We lose. They take a 2-1 series lead. What's going on with the Sabres? All knotted up at 2 apiece. Another loss, and Winnipeg is down, but not out. They get an opportunity here in Buffalo. The building will be packed, which it hasn't been in 12, 13 seasons. First period, 2-1 lead. Greenway will get a pair. Are we serious right now? Thankfully, Nikolai Ehlers ties the game up in the second period. We're trying to force a Game 7 back in Winnipeg. I need McDavid to play big here. Even Crosby needs to step up. We're out shooting him 38-22. Yes, I'm taking Winnipeg's side right now. 7 minutes to go in the third period. The game is still tied at 2. Nobody can seem to score the next one. Never mind. What on earth? Literally with like a minute 30, 2 minutes left to go, the Buffalo Sabres, who at this point probably are possessed by the hockey gods, are going to score, take the lead. Oh my God, there it was. There it was. Austin Matthews tied for the lead in points here in the postseason. Something I thought I'd never see. Nonetheless, McDavid loses the draw. 40 seconds to go until the Buffalo Sabres, who I believe didn't end up actually gaining anybody throughout the wheel. They lost Rasmus Dahlin, somehow got better, and now they're on a vengeance tour to try to win their first Stanley Cup in franchise history. Thompson, back to the point to Bowen Byram. Over to Power. Power shooting. Kochetkov will make the save. Damn near called him Kochetkov, but thankfully I caught myself there. You got 22 seconds to go. I'm going to pull the goalie as soon as I get the opportunity. Shots are 44-31. Full pressure as well. Buffalo's hemming in Winnipeg right now. There you go. Neil Pionk moves over Mark Scheifele, pulling the goalie. It's time. 12 seconds to go. Kyle Connor coming in. Connor shooting. Nice save by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen with 8.4 to go. Crosby wins the draw. Back over. McDavid shooting. Trying to go short side. It's not going to go. It doesn't look like there's going to be any heroics. No late game heroics as the Buffalo Sabres will get the job done. Oh my God. I made a trade of every single team's best player. They lost Rasmus Dahlin. I don't believe they added anybody significant, if anybody at all, and somehow they're just going to come together with black magic and just go on and win the Stanley Cup. They literally beat the Philadelphia Flyers that were a legit super team, one of the only super teams in NHL history. They got it done. JJ Peterka is your Conn Smythe winner. He only had 3 goals but 24 points in the postseason, and that's good enough to win the Conn Smythe as Buffalo. Oh my lord. I do not even know what to say. First Stanley Cup in franchise history. Couldn't do it Dominic Hasek. Couldn't do it with Rasmus Dahlin. But if you remove Dahlin, maybe he was the issue all along. The locker room problems are no longer. Newly minted captain Owen Power will come on up for the first time, raise the Stanley Cup as the Buffalo Sabres literally do the impossible. Kyle Connor, Matthews, and McDavid all had 25 points each in the postseason. Kyle Connor had 17 goals leading the way, so he was very, very good. Sid the Kid had 24, JJ 24, H. Thompson had 15 goals, so I guess he was probably the best forward for the Buffalo Sabres. And goaltending-wise, Luukkonen went kind of off. I mean, a .923 save percentage, 1 shutout, a 16-9-1 record. Beat some very good teams along the way. Leon will take home the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross and Hart Trophy. Matthews, the Maurice Richard. Bouchard will take home the Norris. JJ, the Conn Smythe. Hellebuck, the Vezina. And Nico Hischier will end up winning the Selke. Well, that is going to do it for this one as we went ahead and traded every single team's best player. We did the video last year. We did it this year. We'll probably end up doing it next year and for the end of time at this point. But nonetheless, Buffalo, they did the unthinkable, the impossible. They went on and won the Stanley Cup after losing their best player at a 91 and their captain. Nonetheless, it was a very fun video to make. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you leave some support on it. Until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.